picture. Oh,
no.
Okay.
Okay, now we'll go over the front of the system, the operation. You have, of course, your mixer on the top. I already went over these, but here's your 4 microphones, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then you have your laptop if you want to hook up a laptop. This is what your karaoke player's on. Then your 2 DJ decks right here. So you have your dual CD player. These are the 2 components for it. Your power conditioner. I ended up putting 2 fans in here. You have your amplifier, the BBE processor. This is the feedback suppressor, and then this is your 4-channel wireless microphone. Now, as far as hooking this up, when everything is plugged up, basically you're going to go ahead and switch the power on, and what it will do is it will start powering up everything. Everything should be, like you'll see the cabs player already, everything's plugged up and ready to go. Now the bottom, this is the last thing you power up, the amplifier. And then when you're powering it down, it's going to be the first thing that you power down. Because I have a DVD in here, it automatically started playing. But as far as messing with anything, this is going to be automatic. You already know how to use this. This is already up full. You keep it that way. Remember to be careful with your speakers because this has more power than your speakers do. You have this, which is your microphones, which basically, I actually took this off earlier. This is all the way up. You have your antennas that just makes it so you can go further away. You can move those around. You could also put them out if you want. It's not a problem. The power conditioner bar, of course, you have the dimmer once again. You just turn that up if you want to look at a CD as you're putting it in there. But I always tell people to make sure they turn these off when this thing's powered up. The voltage could go anywhere from 115 to 130, hovering in between there. Just always watch it, make sure it doesn't spike to 140 and above. Now going up to the mixer. Now you have all the channels. Once you learn one channel, you're pretty much good to go. This is your effects station. You already have echo in the microphones. This, like I said, this is a lot of learning curve, but for the most part, I just have it where you could use it. I put the master volume up to 0. You'll notice on the things that I have players, this is your first master control. This is your secondary line of controls. So you'll notice that I actually have these where these are further up, but if you look at the microphones, they're further down. And the way I do that to check it is there's a peak meter here. And if you turn this all the way down, check 1, 2, you can see that I'm talking through it because of that green light. Now what you want to do is you want to watch this. So one way to find out where you want to set the limitation is keep going up and you'll see that peak light start to come in. Check 1, 2. So when you test it, you want to do it pretty loud and so forth. So you see how it goes into the peak? So the best way to set that is to keep talking until you know that red light doesn't want to come on anymore. So check 1, 2. So for the most part, this is fine unless I yell in it. So right there. Now as far as the channels, you have the first set of knobs which are pans. You go left and right. All that is just, you can listen to the speaker on the left and the right. It turns one or the other off. I always keep those in the middle. Then you have your next station, which has to do with, let's say you hook up a monitor or something. You could hook up monitors by plugging in things on the back here, going out to it, and that should control it. But for the most part, you're really not going to use this. Now you do have the effects right here. I already have them set up higher. You'll notice that I don't even mess around with the effects here. In fact, I should take them all down because you're not even using that. But this is for your microphone, so you get your echo. And then, like I said, you just change the depth of the echo by messing around with this. This next section is your actual EQ. You have your highs, your mids. These two are mids. So it has two types of mids, probably like a high mid and a low mid. Then you have your lows. So you go ahead and make sure you adjust from there and so forth. And once you understand this, you understand them all. Now let me show you something else. As you use the microphone, you'll notice that I labeled all the microphones 1 through 4. Check, check, 1, 2, check, 1, 2, check, 1, 2. Now you'll also notice something else. If I accidentally hit this main, check 1, 2, check 1, 2, now it sounds really weird. What that is I lost my ability for the microphone, but it's still holding the echo. So if that ever happens, that just means maybe you were putting this up and you might have accidentally hit this. Check 1, 2, so now it's back in. Then you have mute, of course, that mutes it automatically if you need to. You'll notice a sub 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. This is this group. This is more advanced, like if you had a band or choir and you had these all at different levels, but you wanted to just literally come up on all of these at the same time. So if you do subgroup 1, see how this is subgroup 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2? I could set these all to 1 and then just literally bring this up and it would bring all 4 microphones up if I wanted to. But I've never used it and I don't think you are as well. Alright, so that's your microphone. Now as far as your dual CD player, you basically, you just put your disc in, play it. You'll go ahead and go over your manual for this because it is pretty simplistic. You just basically open it up, pop in the CD, it'll come up and say there's so many songs, and you just play your songs and so forth. But that's pretty much primarily how you're going to run the system. Other than that, it's just a matter of talking to the manufacturer and so forth. And like I said before, you could bring this down, but it's only going to let you bring it down so far. Once you start feeling the resistance, but if you look at it, if you're standing right up to it, you're going to be able to do your laptop without any problem. And you'll still be able to mess around with the mixer too. But if you ever need to see the whole mixer, just bring it back and so forth. And then like I said, when you power it down, always power down the amplifier first, then this. Now the only reason why this is still on is, remember I said we didn't have enough plugs for the back here, so I have to manually do that one. And that's pretty much